Hello, hello. My name's Jack. I'm the director of Ariella alongside my brother Michael. And I'm also the director for Bombshell, the film that you're sitting in front of now. Um, this is a film I made when I was 17 and still at college, which is a long time ago now. I'm not 100% into how this film turned out. I was pretty rushed at the time to hand this in. It just still being a college assignment, and the project still feels a bit half-baked in my eyes. I never really found the time and money to go back and touch it up, but I feel this is something that every working filmmaker feels like, especially for their first project, which this was for me. But whatever, it was a learning curve for sure. Aiello was shot just a few months after handing this in. I think I was developing both the ideas alongside each other, so yeah, it was a busy time. I'll get it going. So the idea for this documentary, it came to me after meeting the sister of a very good friend of mine. I think I met at a festival or a house party, and I remember her telling me what she'd kind of been through, being a model, what she kind of experienced being in the industry over the past few years, in terms of her career, being a model in this day and age, and kind of what that meant, what that could do to a person after a while, especially being so young. I remember really sticking with me what she told me and her experiences, that when I'd been given the brief to make the documentary during college, I didn't even really have to think about the subject. It was like a light bulb going off. I knew instantly it was going to be about her. She's come along to be a very good friend of mine as well now, which is really nice. But yeah. So even though I had the idea very early on, I knew what it was going to be. I really struggled in pre-production with how to go about the shooting and kind of the aesthetic of the film. Because whilst I love documentaries, and I definitely did back then, the idea of shooting this kind of run and gun production, very quick setups, and there's a sense of there's definitely a sense of compromising the visual element when it comes to documentaries in aid of the story. It didn't attract me too much, and I don't think it really fit the industry Bombshell was based on. It's a very stylized and almost quite fake industry at times, so I knew the two wouldn't really match up too well. So I've developed ideas with Jack Booth, the cinematographer, and we kind of came up with the idea of making it look as little like a documentary as possible, really. Keeping the camera as much as we could on a tripod and working where we could with our main subject, who, for obvious reasons, I can't really tell you her name, to have more rehearsed movements. We thought we'd give a more alienated effect to the project almost, There's a really good film by Nicholas Winding Refn called The Neon Demon, which is a big inspiration. But yeah, we shot this in a day, I think. A day or 2 days, I think. Travelled down to the Isle of Dogs with Jack Booth and Ollie Blair, two very good filmmakers. And then, an evening for the mannequin sequence, which we kind of dotted through the production. I knew I wanted this strange cutaway sequence insinuating our subject's journey, from not really knowing anything about the industry to being really affected by the smaller details. You have this paint kind of thrown across this white mannequin as we find out more and more about her experiences. We had fun throwing that paint around. Even more fun cleaning it up. I don't think the studio owners were too happy with us. I think, as I mentioned, I still have my problems with this film, and I think it really does boil down to the editing. I think this film was a real benchmark for me, learning the importance of what heads of departments do and the advantages that can come from hearing their opinions and respecting their job roles. And even now, I think I'm always a bit reluctant to hand my work over to editors. I think I'm definitely a very visual filmmaker. Everything comes to me in terms of the way it's laid out in post-production. So giving someone so much control, yeah, it can definitely make me feel a bit uneasy, I think. But it's stupid. That's their job. Not only can they work a lot quicker than I can, but they'll have ideas that I've not really had time to explore, and it will just make the film a lot better. But yeah, if I did have the resources, I wouldn't have been so stubborn at the time. I would have handed this over to someone who could have just smoothed out the edges and helped tell the story better than I have here, I think. I still had fun, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of gratitude to the people that helped me make this. Ryan Harvey, the producer, he put a lot of time into making me through the pre-production stage, which at that time, I didn't really know anything about. Teaching me how you can see the process in a really creative way. And even though it's a lot of paperwork, it's where a project is born, really. I think I've really taken that on to this day. Still, pre-production might be, I think, my favourite part of making a film. Gathering of tracks, into a Spotify playlist that captures the mood of the project, or shot listing or pitching your ideas. Again, I think, as I said, being such a visual filmmaker, it can take a while for me to explain my ideas, getting them down on paper. I think especially seeing as some of them can be pretty strange, but it's all part of the fun. So yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching. Again, while I do have my problems with Bombshell, I think, and the subject isn't the most uplifting, I had such a fun time making it. It really helped solidify those thoughts of wanting to do this long term, doing it as a career. So yeah, thanks to everyone that helped me make this, and later down the line with Ariella. And thanks to everyone that donated. It's been a while since the Kickstarter, but it does really mean a lot. It does. It's great to see the effects of the film come together now. More of the world is seeing it. So we really owe it to the people who helped finance the film.